So just a quick update. I've been in the process, or I'm in the process of setting up a new studio space. For years, probably scarily well over 20 years, I've had my own studio space. I mean, well, years before that, actually, I would frequent rehearsal studios. Then eventually I got my own room, and that led to, friends asking and people asking, can I use your space when you're not using it? Which then led to me setting up a studio business. And I kind of always had a space that I could go in and write and record music. And during the pandemic, I kept my studios running and my offices for my business running until maybe 2.5, 3 years in, and I thought, I'm going to start closing some of them down and working primarily from home. I've got my spaces, that I work in. I've got my back cave, which has got all my music gear, as you've seen, if you've seen any of my earlier videos. And this, the Trend Lab, where I do a lot of my work and have tons of toys and too much bits and bobs that I shouldn't have probably. So I'm going to open a small space along with a small space for my business as well. Like I say, I've had spaces over the years, and I'm probably going to just try and pop some images up of, this, my first studio that I had back maybe 1998, 1999. Round about then, and it was a kind of fairly basic space, but it was decent, and I kitted it out well, and I really enjoyed it, and we made a lot of good music there. Then on to the first commercial studios I had, which was in the early 2000s, and that, spanned between a place in the east end of Glasgow and also in the city centre of Glasgow. And I set up another business on the side called Star for a Day, which was a recording studio gift experience, which still sort of is about just now, and I may revamp that. You can see there just the amount of spaces I've had, and I miss having those spaces. I've had a lot of kind of freedom there that I just didn't realise. So I'm not going to put a big emphasis on the setup as much as I normally would, because as you've seen in some of the photos there, that I've had some mega setups which have been really great. However, what I've found, if you watch one of my latest videos, which is songwriting in a remote Scottish cabin, in that I found actually kind of cutting down the amount of stuff I have has been pretty helpful. So in this setup that I'm going to have, I'm going to probably keep it pretty basic in terms of good quality stuff, but just not a lot of it. Stuff that I need to make music or record, or if I'm doing voiceover stuff or anything that's coming in. The next time you see me, I'll probably be in setting up in this new space. I'll give you a wee sneak peek at it, and then in a few weeks I'll show you how it looks once it's properly set up. Might be a bit echoey in here. As you can see, there's doors about, and there's stuff everywhere. There's pictures on the walls, but they're just put up quickly on top of picture hooks that were already there. I'll give you a wee look around with quite a lot going on, putting flooring down, finding space for things that we've got. There's a bit of furniture to come in. There's still things to do. Quite a nice peaceful wee atmosphere. Very echoey, so it's a super high ceiling, which I'll try and get a shot of. It's probably about 4 metres maybe. So that's a bit of a challenge in terms of sound. But I think as I get some acoustic panels in here and maybe bring something down for the sound, maybe some absorption hanging from the ceiling a wee bit to try and dampen that. But other than that, it's a cool wee space. Needs a bit of work, which we're in the process of doing. I say I've not done an awful lot. I'm the setter-upper. Jordan, my brother, he's doing the vast majority of the hard work, and he's done good so far, flooring and bringing a lot of the stuff up, and there's still a lot more equipment and stuff to come, and then I'll start setting up. So, continuing on with the place, stuff everywhere basically, but making some progress. We're about a week in, all the flooring's down, next door's looking a bit better. I'll cut to some of that just now and you can have a quick look. Acoustic panels are ordered but not here yet. Still stuff all over the floor, and there's still a lot of stuff to set up, but it's better than what it was. We have some internet now, which is a bonus. So we've still got another kind of wee store room stroke lunch room to sort out, but that's not a massive deal. I've got some shelving to build and some furniture generally. Still setting up in here. Might sound a bit better, hopefully. Have a mic on, which is a start. I've got some acoustic panels up at last. This wall here isn't done. I've got 3 panels on this wall, a big panel on the back which you can see above the Marshall, which is a much thicker one. That's 170mm. They're all from GIK Acoustics. I'm going to do a wee demo of these soon just to show the difference between this room, which is treated, and the room next door, which isn't. There's still quite a lot to set up in this room. Stuff on the floor, cables to sort, amps to wire up, and yeah, things to do generally speaking. I've got a wee guitar rack that's going to go along this wall. I've got a keyboard set up and stuff, and then next door you can see the office is kind of coming on. It's almost there. Quite a lot of stuff to add still, pictures to hang and different things like that. But yeah, almost there. Thank God. It's been about 2 weeks all in between flooring and touching up paint and adding the acoustic treatment, building furniture, bringing things here. So we're almost set, which is great, and I'm going to start doing some more videos here. Well, that's the place done up to a point. I can show you around now and you'll see. Still some pictures to hang. Generally just wee bits and bobs of cleaning and tidying to do, but more or less there. Still a wee bit of equipment to wire up as well, actually. But quite a lot done in a couple of weeks. I think that's probably been about 3 weeks now, and we've just not stopped. It's been non-stop just getting stuff set up and getting in, and I think we'll probably let this for a few weeks now. But quite happy with where it's at. Can actually properly work in here now. Sounds better, way better actually, in this room. Next door I'm still working on in terms of sound, but it's really just an office, so as long as it's bearable, it's not too echoey, then I'll be quite happy. So what am I going to be doing in here? Ultimately recording some music, writing in here. It's really a space for writing more than anything else, as well as some stuff that I'm doing for work. If I've got any voiceover stuff to record or anything like that, anyone to come in for that sort of thing, then this is what this space will be used for. But ultimately it's a writing space and a place to just kind of work quietly away from the usual spaces that I'm in, so quite happy to have it actually, to be honest. Just glad it's almost done. You forget how much work's involved in just setting up a space. It's all the wee kind of nuanced things that you do over the course of months and years, adding bits here and rewiring things there and deciding to kind of put things in different places and adding new bits of equipment and taking things away. You just forget how much of that's done. It still feels pretty bare bones in here, as much as there's lots of things in. There's still quite a lot to do. I have added some lighting and things like that. I've still to perfect that because the stands that I've got aren't quite high enough, but I've got loads of daylight just now, and it's normally fairly good for that. I've also got some stands in here that I'm going to use for top-down video if I've got anything to show in terms of mixing and things like that. I'm going to start breaking down some of the mixes of songs that I've done, because I think people might kind of be a wee bit interested in that. It's another process that not a lot of people, unless you're into creating music, get to see. We'll do another update maybe a few months down the line when I've got everything properly set up, but I think for now this should show you some of the process of getting a studio set up and introduces you to a space that you'll see more of me in.